Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Rashmi. How are you?
Hello. Hello, Nav. I'm good. How are you doing?
Amazing. So let me just introduce the what we are doing here. We are an NGO, PCOMA, Professional Coaching and Mentoring Association of Maldives. What we do is we spread awareness about coaching and the importance of this skill in our personal lives. And our kind of how do I say, the big vision is to make sure that there's a coach in every home or every
Wow.
island of the country because of the importance and how it impacts and develops our life. So I'm really happy to have you here today. You are also an emotional intelligence coach, an NLP trainer, as well as Toastmasters, right?
Yes, yes.
So you have all the skills in your bag. Just for us, if you could introduce yourself and how you got into the field.
Okay, Nav. First of all, thank you so much for having me here for this interview, for this recording. My name is Rashmi. I am a strong believer, apart from all these titles, fancy titles, I'm a human being which strongly believes in human connection, the beauty of it. Many years of my life I spent in living into the shell, a cocoon, very well protected from the outer world and having the phobia of encountering and talking to the strangers. So I really missed out the true essence of the beauty of this world. When I get to know how beautiful this world is with different mindset, different culture, different background, different beautiful perspective, then I thought it is something, Rashmi, this is the time you need to really invest your time and energy to build true human connections. So I call myself a human connector. I strongly believe in the beauty of relationship as well as setting a healthy boundaries, because it is something very crucial to lead a relationship in the healthy direction. So yes, apart from DTM and EQ coach and trainer, if you will truly ask me, I'm a human connector. So I'm here today. I'm looking forward for this interaction and this talk now.
Our pleasure. That's a beautiful explanation because when you say human connector, it already brings us all together. How do you define what we call this human connections or this emotional intelligence?
Such a beautiful philosophy given to this world actually, and it is get popularized by Daniel Goleman. He's known as the father of emotional intelligence. We were having it before in humankind, but we were missing the right terminology, and he came up with a beautiful book about emotional intelligence, and the world around this started talking about it. EQ is enough when you are able to understand your emotional state, when you are able to understand what is really going through under you. Either you are in a very joyful state, in a serene, in a calm way, either or you are in a very aggressive mode or angry mode, and instantly you are able to recognize, yes, Rashmi, take pause. I'm angry. This is anger. I cannot linger around this emotion. If I will, that is going to affect not only my well-being, but the well-being of people around me as well. That comes the self-regulation part of it. So I'm regulating, not suppressing, not bottling up my emotions, but what I'm doing, first I understand the emotions and then I'm regulating in a very effective manner. So I can respond the situation instead of being reactive. So there are two part of EQ is one is about understanding about myself, my emotional state, as well as another beauty of it is when I'm able to understand the emotions of other people around me. It can be my colleagues, it can be my friend, it can be my sibling, it can be my children, my husband. So now you imagine when not only you are able to understand your emotional state, you are regulating it effectively, as well as you are able to understand the emotions of the people around you. Don't you think that's a beautiful environment around us? So we are not reacting, we are responding with and helping us to establish the human connection. What is human connection? For very simple language, I am telling you, Nafa. Uh, Human connection established when people or even the children, because we are today to talk about the parenting as well. When the children, especially the teenage with the tantrums, they feel they are being neglected by the parents, they are not being seen, they are not being heard, and their perspective, which is quite opposite to your perspective as a parent, and their perspective is not valued. So what is happening in today's world, the teenage, the adolescent, these people are not feeling they are seen, they are valued, they are heard. That's where the conflict starts, and families are breaking up. And it happened not only, I'm just giving the example of a children, it happened in any relationship you imagine. A relationship with your husband, your father, your colleagues, everyone. If the people are not feeling they are being seen, they are being heard, and they are being valued, the connection is not established, and it's not going to happen. Once they started feeling, yes, they are being seen, you are valuing and validating their emotional needs, you are there to listen without being judgmental, and their perspective equally valued as well as yours. And that's where the beautiful connection and bonding starts happening. And that's where we can say, yes, this is a true human connection with the power of emotional intelligence.
Beautiful explanation. Thank you for that. And for sure, we all need somebody to understand us, somebody to say, you're okay, that we are there for you, you know. And a great leader, I remember once in a conference, had said that in this generation, what people mostly want is that second chance to
Mhm.
express themselves, that second chance to explain themselves. So, as
Mhm.
you already mentioned about boundaries also in the beginning, so I'd like to ask, uh, when you're bringing out all these emotions, when you have these emotions and when you see other people have all these emotions, how can we find that right balance? How do we know how to respond? Like, what is that one trick that you would go for example? There must be something that you instantly do. We all have our tricks, right?
Okay, yes. In my emotional intelligence language, I call it, the emotional triggers or the hot button. Suddenly, it get pushed, and we are emotionally triggered. How can first I want to introduce how you know you are triggered. Your body tells a lot. You will see your palms will start sweating. You will have the hot flares on your face. You will have something inside your gut. Your heart will start pounding and beating so fast. So that is a first level of messaging is given to you. Now something is wrong. Something is not according to your expectations, and you are triggered. Your hot button has been pushed. So, what we should do in this situation? There comes the concept of mindfulness. Nafa, mindfulness is not something you're just aware about the surrounding. Mindfulness, you really need to focus on your body. What is happening to me now when someone pushed my hot button? I'm having the sweat on my forehead, means something is not wrong, and take a pause. Pause and breathe. Deep breathing for 3 seconds. Take a pause and breathe. What should be my reaction to it? If I'm triggered, I can be reactive and mass and create the emotional chaos in this situation, or I can remain calm and think about the solution. Then I can give the proper response to the situation. So you see here, mindfulness, self-aware. I will say when you are understanding your emotional trigger, now you are triggered, now I'm triggered, or your children who are showing lots of tantrums. Do you see now he is in a triggered phase? As a parent, pause and breathe. Bring awareness to it, and then practice that self-compassion. Emotions, beauty of emotion, Nafa, is, you know, imagine you are just standing in your balcony and you are seeing the big, beautiful sky, right? And when you see at the sky, you see there are several different colors of clouds are there. Some are very gray and dark, some are very pink, some are orangish, some are very pure white. So emotions are like that. We have different combinations of emotion. Some are comfortable and some are uncomfortable. But we are the big, vast sky. So emotions like cloud will come, cloud will go. They are not going to stop there for a long time. You know? So emotion are also like that. It will come and it will go, but you need to stop yourself not to linger around it. Situation will be escalated in a moment, but if you're not reacting to it, it will go away. And then take the right time, have that realistic experience. Okay, what, how in a better perspective, how in a better way I can manage this situation. If you're not able to manage it, handle, you have a social circle. You can seek support from the people around you and then come back with a constructive response. Focus on solution. But the first thing is self awareness, pause, and think. That is very important. So, first, everything comes from us. Okay. When I'm not able to read my emotional triggered state, how can I say other people are triggered? I will not think about the solution. So first things comes to us. That is when we are talking about the EQ, the first important pillar of emotional intelligence is the self-awareness. It starts from us. When we talk about the leadership, before leading other people, we need to lead ourselves. That's called self-leadership. So things should start from here. And then after self-awareness, self-regulation, self-management, we come to the social management. That is how we can manage with others. So pausing, breathing, that self-awareness, you know, if choosing between reaction and response, and that is in our hand. That is a conscious choice. It doesn't come easily. It's a very tough job, but we can achieve that with mindful choices. You observe. I do journaling. Uh, I write it. Yesterday, I had a emotionally triggered incident. I'm a human being also. You know, I always say I'm made up of emotions as well. And I also encountered the same kind of situation with because I'm having a teenage daughter in my home. So who always challenge my emotional intelligence on regular basis. So when towards the end, when I was writing about it, I wrote, okay, this was the point I got triggered. I noticed, I felt the sensation in my body. I release the energy of the emotions and come back to the natural state. Conscious choice. I hope this answers your question.
It's a very simple and a very clear way to understand, like a passing cloud, emotions will pass by. That is, I
Mm.
think, the most simple way, but the most clear way to understand emotional intelligence. And so, nothing like children to test your patience, right? So, how many children do you have, and what are the challenges that you usually face with them?
Yes, I have two children. One is a 15 years old teenage daughter, and the boy is 10 years old. So 5 year difference. And 5 year difference nowadays psychologists say in 5 years the generation change. You know, the mindset change, the thinking, the way of talking, the vocabulary, everything is changing. So that is another level of challenge I am having. And being a mother of, you know, the two genders, the girl and boy, it's very troublesome because somehow, okay, we talk about the gender equality, but there are some norms and the core values, you know, need to teach differently to the both genders. Boy, I need to treat him individually and teach the lessons of their life, same as well as for my daughter as well. But as you know, 15 years old in the age of Instagram and all, it's quite difficult. But with empathy, with emotional intelligence, with some values, we can have it in our children. And just now, two hours ago, when she was going for the tuition, she asked me, Mama, I will be a businessman. I say, yes, this is something, Noni, Ananya, we want because everyone in the family is having a service job. No one is having the business. I said, okay, you do, you get some experience, and then me and Papa will support you and we will start a business. She took a pause and said, Mama, like, but there is one thing. I said, what? Mama, in our next generation, the next generation is also should be morally strong to understand the efforts you are and me, we are putting in the business to establishing it. So they carry the same value and same understanding with the same ethical level. And when I'm listening this, from the girl, which I encountered yesterday with the emotional trigger situation, I was like, these are the aha moments, when your teachings are making them think about the core values, the ethical understanding. They're thinking about the future. They're thinking about the human values. So not 100% you can see the children is totally according to your expectation, but it is like sowing a seed in their mind, providing the supportive environment with the right set of situation, and then at the right time it will grow up. Maybe sometime I have the challenging issues with her or with my son as well, but I'm pretty much sure, Nava, they will be the good citizen on this beautiful planet. I'm sure that with emotional intelligence.
Amazing. And like you said, definitely you have to treat two children individually. You have to cater to them, their individual needs. And when you talk about emotional intelligence, instead of getting angry, you're taking that moment to pause and you're taking the time to respond to them. How do you think, as a parent, this kind of develops the child? And how does this, in a broader perspective, like when they go out into the community as well, how does
Hmm.
this bring about a positive change?
Okay. Uh, Few years ago, when he was 6 years old, he went to the school. He switched the school from the kindergarten to the international school. And after a few weeks, I met with a mother of his classmate. And she told me, Rashmi, what are you teaching him? He's so humble and nice. I said, oh, what he did? He said, the shoelaces of my boy was open and he was just about to fall down, and Ayushman came and he tied the shoelaces very nicely and he taught him. So I felt, these are the things, cultivating through empathy, understanding, and compassion, but starting from the home. So whatever the environment I'm giving inside the house, they are seeing the support from both the parents. They are sprinkling out the positivity and the compassion in their surrounding. Though they are very naughty, both of them are very naughty, they are mischievous as well. But with those kind of small stories, my mind say, Rashmi, they're on the right track. The values I'm trying to give them in a very subtle way. It is not a proper coaching sessions and tuition. You cannot teach them like this through the form of stories, through your one-to-one me time, separately with both of them. Someday we have Mama Beta Day, sometime we have Mama Ananya Day. So these kind of days and the timings and the right set of books, they love to read books because Mama started. Then they catch up the essence of it, and now they are into reading and all. So they are learning, they are grasping, and home is their, like Toastmaster is our place where we practice, without being judged. We practice our public speaking communication. So home is the place. You cannot judge your children. You cannot scold them you cannot be harsh on them. My mother's parenting was very tough now. Very tough. I would say it was like she was a tigress mom, and she used all kind of Asian tactics to deal with three of the children. But my way is totally opposite. I have been through that. I was like, no, generation has changed, thinking has changed, people have changed. That time I was having a supportive network of grandfather, grandmother, uncle, auntie. So if mama is scolding me, I have a supportive network. I can go and take the soothing and heal myself emotionally. Here, most of the families are nuclear families. Children are only living with their parents. If they are not seeking that healing and emotional comfort from the parents, they will start seeking it from outside. And when they are seeking the emotional comfort from outside, they will have the negative encounters with the otherly world as well. That will have the negative impact on them. So both the things, both the practical ground of both kind of learning, positive and negative, will be outside the house. So I thought, okay, I discussed with my husband. These are the things we need to instill and we need to practice and we need to model first. I don't want to see them. Uh, Like nowadays kids, totally parents are busy. I'm also working, but I'm a freelance trainer. I don't want to grow them like they are just growing up at their own. They do not have someone to express their feelings. We really want to give them the supporting environment. So when they are feeling we have the support system, they will be the support system of the people at their school, in their society. So that is how we can build that support system in the communities, starting from the home itself.
It's very important for most parents to understand, because a lot of times they will say that, if you hang out with these kids, the kids will also become bad. But they don't see the example where if you're a good kid and the good kid goes there into the community, he or she is also shifting the community in a very positive way. And I
Very
remember
positive.
our founder, Miss Shahina, also shared a story of how she wanted to kind of teach this to their children, because
Uh,
there were all kinds of kids in the community. So she used her kids in order to bring a change in the community. And this is something amazing. So when we talk about this change, what do you think you need to do for the children, or what kind of space, what kind of emotional intelligence applies to your kids? Like, what do you do for your kids to see this in a in the way that
hmm.
we want?
Okay, there are few things we really need to teach our kid. First thing is emotional expression, whether it is positive emotion or the negative emotion, is totally fine. If they are aggressive, they are holding anger and they are expressing it, that is okay too. There is no taboo in feeling the negative emotion. That is the first thing I taught both of them. You are a human being. We have more than 4,000 different types of emotions, and you will encounter each of it in different scenarios. So no need to scared. If you're feeling angry and jealous, that is also fine. Okay. But we need to decode what is the message behind this emotion. So emotional literacy, I would say it is very, very crucial for today's children. Giving them a safe environment to express their emotional needs. I have two children. My daughter, I understand if she is not having a good time and she is going through a tough time in the school or with any of her friend, she needs desperately one-to-one conversation with me. And when she talk, when she express, she settle down so nicely. But that is not the case with my boy. So as a parent, you need to be very observant about the needs of your children. My boy he's physical. First, if something is wrong, he want me to, hug him and give him that physical support to settle him down. It takes few minutes. Sometimes it takes for half an hour as well. But when he feel emotionally and physically safe, then it is very easy for him to express verbally. So that physical comfort is not the need of my daughter. She is very assertive. She is very direct. Okay. And my boy, yeah, that is another side of it. It needs time for him to settle down, if you are able to make him feel safe, then only he will express. So, as a parent, it is very, very crucial for us to understand how our children will be verbalizing their emotional needs. What is the way? What is the proper way? And again, you can get it through the mindfulness. You need to read your children, read their emotional needs, make them emotionally aware about. I have a tool here which I always share. This is known as emotional wheel. uh, and this is the emotion meter. If you will ask a normal human being, how many emotions you know, so they will only say 5 to 6: happiness, joy, sad. But I told you there are more than 3,500. So when our children is not able to identify the right emotional state, how, as a parent, you can treat them, how you can fix them. So you need to name the emotion to tame the emotion. It is like, you are going to the doctor, and if you're not able to tell the symptoms and the disease, how they will treat you. So in the same way, use these tools are very important emotion wheel. So my boy, especially my boy, because he is very emotional, he understands most of the emotional state. and he's so accurate in identifying what he is feeling. So these tools are very, very crucial for the parents to increase their emotional vocabulary, increase their emotional expressions, and having one-to-one talk with them so you can understand their strength, their weakness, and be their support system around them.
That's a lot of emotions, 3,500 plus, right?
Yes.
And like you said, we only know like a handful of them, so it must be really tough.
Yes.
And that also brings me to understand that every child has different needs. So, you
Yes.
know, parenting can go wrong also in a lot of ways, right? Also
Yes.
in a lot of
Yes.
ways. So it all boils down to how well you understand your child, because it's your
Yes.
child, no
Yes.
one else's, and every child is different. Even if you have three, four of them, each child is different. Like you said,
Different.
your
Yes.
boy is a bit more emotional than the girl. So in that case, what strategies would you recommend to parents in terms of how to understand their own emotions as well as
Mm.
how to understand the child's emotion?
Okay, strategies are very simple as a parent. The things start from the parents. Okay, because we are there, they are the part of us, and when before starting looking for the solution in the outer world, they look to us. Maybe they are not able to verbalize it because not everyone is having a good communication skills. But as a parent, you need to be very observant about their emotional need. When you are able to read it, provide that emotional support to them. Every stage of a child, like a kindergartner or the toddler, the pre-toddler, and then the teenage, each stage is having different sets of emotional needs, and that only parents can. I cannot teach you. We have lots of books. When I became mom first time 15 years ago, I bought this book. It still is having with me. I bought it from New Delhi. I remember The Secure Child. So there are always a self helping tools as well. Like I use emotional meter, emotional. Then I read lots of content about it. Parenting is no one can teach you how to be a parent. Huh? Uh, it is a very challenging phase. As it is new for a child, it is new for the parent as well. When I became mom, my mom used to teach me how to hold my daughter, how to feed, how to give bath, and how to do. But no one actually teach how to be a good parent. So it's a self discovery also. So for self discovery and self reflection, Nafa, you would agree with me, we need lots of patience. Without patience, it's not gonna be work. So patience and understanding what kind of environment you want to create. Home is our safest place. If there the people are not feeling at peace, how will they bring the peace to the outer world? So, if you will ask me, Rashmi, whose responsibility is more, fathers and mother? I would say, I'm so sorry. I would say mother's responsibility is higher, actually, higher, because she is the only one who can fix all the emotional issues, chaotic scenarios the children is having, comparison to the dad. That is my understanding because women's are the DNA is created in that way. We are more emotional, we are more empathetic. So we can understand the scenario in a beautiful manner to them. So these are the books we have. I have done lots of assessment with my daughter. Even the DISC personality test I have done with her. There are other personality assessment, so I can understand her. Now she's in a teenage. 5 years ago, she was at a different level. Now she's at a different level. After 5 years, when she will go for the college, she will be at a different understanding level. So, as a mother, I always try to use the assessment tools with her to understanding her need and understanding the process she is going through. I always keep reading the book. I always keep reading, collecting the tools. I have a support system around me. I have few friends who are doing excellent parenting, excellent. So I never feel hesitant if I'm encountering some challenging situation. I never feel hesitant. I never have the ego. I'm a EQ coach, so I know everything. No, There is always a parenting is a learning process. So I always go and share my challenges. So if something is good, I grab it, I apply. So it's a lifelong process. Parenting is, and it's an individual process. For my mother, it was a different. For me, it is a different. For my daughter, it will be different. So individually, you need to cater the need of the generation around you, but creating that environment in which everyone is feeling safe to express, to ask, to share. That is a primary duty, a profound duty of a parent, especially for a mom to create.
Definitely, peace that comes from within. It's not something you can compare anything else with.
Yeah.
And
True.
if it starts at home, it's already cultivated and rooted in the child. So growing up, that's the kind of peace and freedom and belongingness that that child is going to
Yes.
kind of give to the generations to come. And as a parent, because in Professional Coaching and Mentoring Association of Maldives from Picoma, we also uh, educate on going to be parents, like
Uh,
people who are deciding to have children, who don't have children yet, the importance of coaching themselves or healing themselves before
hmm,
becoming a parent. What do you
hmm.
think is the first step, or how important do you think this is?
Okay. Uh, it is when the new parents, it is going to be a, like the whole world gets changed around them. And the mother, the to be parents, the mother especially, they going through lots of emotional turbulence, and they are having someone, and they are leaving their career or the happiness, the outgoing nature, but now they have someone in their arm to hold on and look after. I have been through a lot during my first delivery. Second was okay, but first was emotionally very turbulent and chaotic phase of my life. That was a time when I decided, because my parenting was typical Asian parenting, which I received from my mom. I was very clear in my mind, Nafa, whatever the not so good experience I have been through in my life, my child will never experience this. Okay. They will never have the chaotic environment within the house. That does not mean I'm keeping them safe from the adverse and challenging situation. They will definitely encounter in the outer world, but home will be the place they will feel safe and sound. Okay, I want to have this kind of, but what should I do? What can I do to create that kind of environment? And that go hand on hand with your partner. So, what kind of environment you want to create and give to this little human being? First is emotional safety is the primary thing. If emotional safety, why I'm saying, because nowadays everyone is working. Mother is working, father is working, and children are raising up in others' hand. That is a very difficult scenario, but that is not something which we cannot fix on. We have relatives, we have our grandparents, we have our mother, we have father. At least apart from both of working parents, a child should have someone they can emotionally lean on when their parents are not available. And that is only a mother and father can decide who. So during the initial phase when the child is growing up, it is very, very important if you both are working, it is very, very important to bring that third person in the light. It can be anyone. If you're blessed, it can be your nanny as well, who are truly understandable, empathetic, and who is having expertise to nurture the kid in that holistic way. So that support system is very crucial during the initial days. And if the child is growing up, you both are working, the three times you really need to be emotionally available for them. The first is when you are leaving for the office or the children are leaving for their school, that 15 minutes with your child is very crucial, very crucial. Stop everything and just be there. The first part of it. Second is when they are coming back from their school. I always ask, even I have this question, always ask to my husband as well, how was your day? Simple sentence, how was your day? So it is giving them chance to open up and share what happened at the workplace. Same to my children. I ask separately for both of them, how was your day? something exciting, everything is okay. So that 15-minute conversation play a major role in their emotional development. And third is 15 minutes when they are going to sleep. Yeah. Make sure they are sleeping with a calm, safe, and subtle mind without having the chaos and nervousness. So these 15 minutes, I make sure I'm dividing it sometime with my son because he sleeps in his room and daughter in her room. So separately for both of them. When during the night time, if I'm waking up, I make sure I'm looking after them. They're sleeping in a sound manner, and me always make sure that if something is happening, even if you're having a nightmare, I'm always there. Don't hesitate. You cannot wake up mama. Mama is there. So that emotional availability of the parent, no matter you are working or not, but you can take out certain period of the time. You can break it 15, 15, 15. That is very crucial, and that is something every parent, especially the new parent, should keep in the mind. Uh, Emotional availability can change. Otherwise, children are learning, grasping information, knowledge, wanted, unwanted, all through the social media. Small children, 2 years old, they know how to sweep up the reels and the videos, YouTube. They are mugging up so many things, which is very dreadful for their small, young, tender mind. So have something which can filter the information they are not required to know at that certain age and be there. If you're working, that is okay. But set some time which is undisturbed, uh, undivided attention, you're focused towards your child. At least 15, 15, 15 is very crucial.
Amazing. And as moreover, as a parent, you are very emotionally available to your kids, let's say.
Mhm.
But there might be people who have gone through very traumatic experiences in their
Hmm.
life, and because of
Hmm.
that, maybe they're not as understanding towards their
Huh.
kids, or
Hmm.
it might come up in a wrong way. So,
Huh.
what do you think these kind of parents should do if they're facing the challenge of being
Yes.
emotionally available?
Huh. It happens actually. It happens with me once when I gave birth to my daughter. That time I was quite in a chaotic emotional mess. And we are lucky. We are having so many mental health awareness people. We are having psychologists. As long as Nafa, you are able to understand your problem, you can treat it well. I remember during second delivery, I encountered with that post-delivery trauma because I was all alone in Malaysia and taking care of the two children, and I lost my job as well. I was not working, just at home, stagnated, feeling life has no meaning for that certain time. That time, self-awareness worked a beautiful role in my life. Self-awareness, Rashmi, something is very wrong with your emotions and your affection towards your child. So I was feeling I have been bounded with this. And believe me, 60 to 70% mothers go through this we call it post-delivery trauma and the depression. They go, it's very normal because all of a sudden everyone's life is changing after delivery. So self-awareness is I'm going through this process. My attention is I'm losing my attention towards me, towards my children. I'm feeling a bit of depressed. I'm having no energy. I'm having no happiness. And that time, the first thing is seeking support from the family members. Talk to your husband, talk to your life partner, your parent, your mother. If those person are not available, I would advise, and I have been through the same phase as well. Go look for the experts support. Have some counseling session. That is very, very crucial for you as well, for your newly born as well. So first thing is identify the problem, and then you are treating it problem. And there is no taboo in it actually. Parenting counseling is a new norm for the because now scenario has been changed. Social media has changed a lot of things and created a lots of chaos in small children actually. So it is a very new normal scenario for the parents to go. I have been a lot as well. When I used to feel actually before I was into emotional intelligence and practicing it on regular basis. So I usually go for it and get benefited out of it. I learned so many things out of it. how to deal with this situation, how to self-care, self-compassion. Nothing wrong with you, Rashmi. It is just a temporary stage of your life. You will overcome this. That self-compassion, self-care, we keep it at a side. We don't love to see ourselves in the mirror during those phases, you know. All these things happen. So self-care, self-love, self-compassion, but there's nothing wrong with me. It's just a small phase. With the proper expert advice and counseling, you can sail through this. This is possible.
Especially as a parent, it's definitely super easy to become overwhelmed, right? With
Very easy,
your parent.
quickly.
Is there a certain experience that you'd like to share where you almost lost it and how you recovered from it?
Yeah, so many actually. For both of them, they both had hyperactive children. So many, uncountable. Only previously, the difference is previously, before practicing emotional intelligence, I used to be reactive instantly for them because I was very protective for them, and something is happening and my lid is blown off. But after practicing emotional intelligence, it is the conversation is very easy for both of us individually, for my children. And recently, actually, I would like to share example with you. I have a boy. I told you he's very emotional. He got punished for a thing in the school, for a mistake which he did 1.5 and 2 months ago. So he did a mistake. I get to know that at the second phase, and I talk to him. You should not use those words, and this is something wrong. We have one-to-one conversation, and he apologized very sincerely. He apologized, and things move on. So we forgot the incidents. He forgot, and he was leading a normal life. And suddenly, 1.5 months later, and 2 months later, the incident unwrapped again. And that time, he got punished in the school for doing the same mistake. So when he came back from the school, he was having the red face and so angry, aggressive mode. And he was like, throw the bag and throwing the tantrums. I was like, hold on, Rashmi, there is something wrong in this scenario. You need to calm yourself so much, be patient and listen to him. That is something the self conversation is very, very crucial for a mom. And I do it actually so much. So I was talking to myself and then I was ready. Okay, Ayush, what happened? Are you angry? I asked him, are you angry? And I was amazed by the answer. He said, no, Mama, I'm not angry. I'm having a rage in my heart. I was like, rage? I was surprised. He's not angry. He's having a rage. I said, what happened, beta? And he told, how can the people punish me for the mistake I have done few months ago? And I sincerely apologized. I never repeat. So now I'm having a rage. If someone will tease me or do something, I'm gonna push them back so hardly. I'm gonna hurt them, and you are not going to teach me any lesson of kindness, being kind and compassion. I like things are really difficult at this moment, Rashmi. What should I do? Because one beautiful thing, I was happy in this scenario, Nafa. He was able to differentiate anger and rage. That was a big aha moment for me. Angry, he was like, no, Mama, I'm not angry. Angry is anger comes, like I told you, sky, the clouds, anger comes. You don't pay attention, it will go. Rage is something which is high intensity emotions, like either you will hurt yourself or you will hurt someone else to use that energy. So the bulb got over. Oh, raise. So that was the time because situation was too much out of control and he was not able to listen me. Mama, you are not going to give me any lesson of being kind and compassion. That time I seek support from a counselor. I took him there. I made him understand and he took few sessions there, even with the school counselor as well. Then they made him understand. They have one-to-one conversation, and the way they appreciated the differentiation. A child, 10 years old, is able to understand the differentiation and express it. For me, it was like here comes the importance of emotional intelligence. The child is understanding equal emotion he is feeling And then I am understanding the emergency of the situation and taking him to the right direction. Otherwise, if my mind say, okay, race, it is okay, it could have been a major accident in the school as well if someone is teasing him for getting rusticated or getting this or getting punished. So he could have punished. He could have made the incident super big and devastating. But he communicated his emotional need and emotional expression was very clear. So as a mom, I could give him the right direction. So now I'm bringing your attention. It is very crucial now for teach our children the emotional literacy. When they are able to verbalize and vocalize the right emotional need, then it is okay if you're not able to manage it, but you can take them to the right person, right support system, where they are having the expertise to manage the scenario. So this is just an example and very near and dear to me. Now he's totally fine, totally okay. It happened few months ago, but the aha point is now he is able to express the emotional need very clearly. I hope this example and his story helps. Nafa.
Wow, it's beautiful because even as adults, it's sometimes difficult to say the right words to
Exactly.
express exactly what we're feeling. But a 10-year-old actually differentiating between anger and rage, that's amazing. You have done a really good job, so congratulations for that.
Thank
And
you.
because you mentioned that it's important to reach out to the right people. Even
Yes.
as parents, when we are overwhelmed, we need to reach out to the right
Yeah.
people. So I just remembered an example from Simon Sinek. He had said
Hmm.
that as an individual, a person just needs 8 minutes of your time, right?
Yes.
So if you're able to give somebody 8 minutes of your time,
Yes.
even if it's your kids or your parents or anybody,
Yes.
I believe it will really help in a lot of situations. So when we're talking about all of these emotions or bringing it together in one scenario,
Hmm.
like because you mentioned that there's 3,500 and more emotions, how well are you like how well do you understand all of these emotions and where are you with this?
Okay, okay. As a EQ trainer and EQ coach, it is like a profound duty for me to, understand it before talking about it, before training people about it. So in past few years, a lot of understanding has been developed, and one important thing is whatever I'm learning, whatever I'm sharing with, I have the same application within my home environment, with my husband, with my children. Now DISC test is very famous. So I understand my husband is high C and high D. My daughter is high C and high D. My husband, my boy is S and I like me. So when we are having these kind of understanding, we can adjust our way of communication and dealing with them. So these are the things which is as a mother or as a trainer is very very useful for me to adjust my way of dealing according to the scenarios. So for that I always say before, because I'm a mother, I'm the leader of the house as well, I'm leading two children. As I always say, before leading to the people, you need to read the people. So whether it's your children, your husband, or your colleague, your neighbor, you need to take some time out to understand them. When you are taking time to understand them, it is way easy to deal with them. It is easy. You really need to have yourself updated about the new tools and techniques. I'm doing a new certification uh, coming Monday about the I keep learning from the 6 Second is a renowned institution of emotional intelligence. So I have get enrolled into that. I'm learning. Then I have few in pipeline. So it's a continuous journey actually. We have so many beautiful tools we can use. Instead, just before applying the tools in my trainings with the participant, I use this within the family with my husband and my children. So it gives me a good understanding about it. Okay, now this is working in this way. This will not work in that way. So I can adjust, accommodate, and change my strategies. So this is how I do,
Great.
Nafa.
Great, so you experiment on them, you experiment with them, you experiment for them, so it's an ongoing experiment.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, a lot of people who don't have the same background or the knowledge
Hmm.
on emotional intelligence are also going to be watching this. So,
Huh.
for someone who wants to begin this journey, what would you say is the first step?
Okay. First, first thing is we have some free assessments on internet about the emotional intelligence, checking our level. So basically, there are five domains, but when you do the self-free assessments, you will get understanding where you are lacking. Are you lacking in the self-management? Are you lacking in self-awareness? Or you are lacking in relationship management? Or you are lacking in social management? So when you will get to know about your ratios or your level of expertise in different scenarios, then you will have an understanding. When I did few years ago, I was clearly lacking in self-management part. Awareness was okay. I'm very aware about my ethics, my values, my strategies, my strength. And management part is if I used to get easily triggered out of the scenarios and the people. Relationship was so good because I'm a highly socially aware person. So this is how, as a person, if you are really consciously want to improve your emotional intelligence, you need to be proactive to learn more about yourself first. So leverage all those free, you can Google it, free EQ assessments, you will get it. Understand yourself, understand your way of communication. Then there are lots of books available in the market. Go through that, learn about that. If it is because you know why I chose emotional intelligence, because I was a very emotional person. I have been through a lot emotional mess in my life, I'm telling you, Nafa. So when first of all I learned it for myself. When I saw this is a very powerful tool to bring so many changes in your life, then only I started teaching it and training people around me. So first guinea pig was me for myself. So when you will see the benefit out of it, and then you will see the remarkable changes in the way you are communicating, you will feel the stillness inside you. You will feel the improving relationship with your children, with your people. Even when you know how to manage the healthy boundaries with your children. My children are very familiar with my bound. This is no guilt trap, okay? For parents also, mother also. Self-care time, self-care time. This is mama's watching documentary time, so no one will interfere. This is my reading time. Previously, when I was not familiar with this concept, I used to feel a lot of guilt, like I'm doing something wrong. I'm pushing them away. But now it is very important for the healthy relationship. Now they understand it. Everyone is having a healthy boundary in the house. Everyone is having their me time in the house. So when you will see the beautiful well-being is developing slowly, slowly around you, then you can go more, dig more, learn more, connect with. There are so many people around you. You will find online. You can learn yourself, unlocking EQ, understanding EQ for your improvement. You will see remarkable changes in your professional relationship, your personal relationship. It will change your world.
Truly, it will, I'm sure. And when you say that you're an emotional person, I can relate to you. I'm also the type of person who's always overwhelmed with emotions, and when we need like learn how to come to terms with it, or when we become self-aware, when we start to understand these emotions, it's very important to also understand that it's a messy process and it's
Yes.
very uncomfortable. Sometimes you just want to give up and you don't want to
Yeah.
continue, and that's the stage I am at. I'm still figuring it out, how to
Huh.
control these emotions, how to understand exactly what kind of emotion I'm going through. So, to all the people who are watching, because we only have 5 minutes left now, so I just want you to conclude this message, like what the ugly truth about emotional intelligence, and like what kind of strength and determination you need, and kind of emphasize on how important it is for individuals as well as parents.
Okay. I will describe it in minimal words. If you are not able to manage your emotions will start managing you. And that will be a big emotional chaos for your life, believe me. So that itself states a lot about the importance of emotional regulation. We cannot be the victim of it. We cannot be at the mercy of our emotional state. It will always be there. So, for leading a happy, healthy life with setting up healthy boundaries around you, with taking care of your mental fitness as well as your physical fitness, it is very crucial for you to learn tools and techniques of emotional intelligence. And beauty of this concept is, unlike IQ is somehow genetic. It is in our DNA. We cannot dramatically enhance our IQ, but the EQ is a learnable skill. It's a teachable skill. It is, you can even measure it on the scale. Now you are at this scale, now there later you are on that scale. So we have lots of tools and techniques and the people around us who are there to help you. But decision in your hand, actually. It is a conscious choice because you need to work a lot on yourself first. So always remember, ah, emotions drives people and people drive performance. So if you want to drive and increase your performance, you have to learn how to manage your emotions. And that's the beautiful part of emotional intelligence. Enough.
What a beautiful conclusion. If you don't control your emotions will control you. For sure. So I think this session has been really eye opening for me because I got to learn so much about emotional intelligence and why it's important, and so many experiences you shared with us. Thank you so much for that. And before I end the session, once again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We're doing really amazing work here, trying to kind of cultivate this in our culture or champion a culture of coaching in the Maldives. And you have contributed to us in a way that we are forever grateful for. So thank you so much, Rashmi, for being with us. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Thank you, Nafa. Thank you so much for spreading this awareness about the emotional intelligence and parenting the world need a lot at the moment. And I want to see you as well very soon, a champion of EQ. It's
I hope
achievable.
so.
Yes, yes, we are there to support each other journey. We are there to see everyone growing beautifully in their personal and professional life. So I'm always there, just a call away, a message away, and wish you all the very best, Nafa, for your growth and achievements.
Thank you so much and good luck and have an amazing experimental life.
Yes. Thank you, Nafa.
Bye.
Bye, bye. Take care.